Welcome one, welcome all to the Carney days of wrestling. We're a bit past the Carney days at this point. September 1982, and yeah, I've been playing this specific save file since January of 1970. So we're about 12 years and 9 months in. So I'm gonna go through and show you guys what we've been up to a little bit. I know we started another series with the Smoky Mountain stuff. YouTube didn't really like that. They weren't a fan, so it is what it is. We're gonna get back to our Andre the Giant in 1970 stream, our usual one, and we'll continue going on with that. But I thought it'd be a fun time since we already took quite the break to show you guys my King of the North, or now newly renamed King of Wrestling show. So here we have our tournaments. These are the previous tournaments. We also had a tag team tournament and an inaugural television tournament. But yeah, we'll go through here a little bit. So in the first ever King of the North tournament, Roddy Piper, our user character, beat this gentleman, Arrest Antonation. Yeah, I don't know. He was a local Canadian guy to the Manitoba area. So I guess I didn't really set that part up. We are in Manitoba, Canada, because it's the only location in Canada that starts with basically no territory there. There's nobody running that territory. It's the smallest or second smallest territory in Canada. So fair enough, right? Nobody's running there. Piper is from there. So it works out. I essentially, my backstory for this save is that Roddy Piper, young kid, I believe he's 15 when the game starts. So he gets involved with some shady people, gets a few high risk loans, the type of loans that you pay back with your kneecaps if you don't keep up on them. And yeah, opens up a wrestling company, opens up a territory in Manitoba. We've been pretty successful overall, but we'll get into the finances and everything else that's going on first. I want to cover the tournament because that's going to be our main focus. It's a September through October tournament that runs every year, and that's what we're going to focus on today. That's going to be this episode. So, the first ever tournament, Piper won. Second ever tournament, it was a repeat of the finals, and Piper loses to the gentleman that he beat last time. The third time through, Jerry Lawler beats Piper. So up to this point, it's important to note that the tournament is, and still is, but less so, and we'll get to that, a belt that gets defended. So if you've won the tournament the previous year, you are enrolled in the tournament automatically the next year, so long as you're able. So Lawler beats Piper in the finals of the third year. The fourth year, Lawler defends the title, beats Sweet Daddy Siki in the finals. Sweet Daddy Siki, of course, that's Edge's trainer. I wanted to have him in the promotion just to establish that, like, Sweet Daddy Siki was around and doing stuff with us, so that when Edge comes through, it'll be like, oh, okay, his protege comes through. Randy Savage defeated Jerry Lawler after Jerry had won it 2 years in a row, or won it and defended it. So then we have King Randy Savage, King Macho Man. The sixth year of the tournament, Jake the Snake Roberts defeated Randy Savage. The seventh year, Rocky Johnson beats Lanny Poffo. Jake, I believe, lost in the second round. Here we can check. Oh, that's right. Okay. So between years 6 and 7, there was a big change. And Jake actually, you can see everyone else held it for, a certain amount of days. And Lawler actually held it for 2 years, defending it. Jake, he decided 224 days into his reign as King the Snake Roberts to relinquish the belt, and he basically like did like a whole Mean Girls scene where he like took his crown off and like but he didn't like break it into little pieces, but it is what it is. He threw down the scepter, doffed the robe, and threw his crown down. He didn't want any part in it, so he actually wasn't in the next year's tournament. Important distinction there. And from then on, just because I think it's better to have like the multiple wins as we go forward, I made it not a title to be defended, but the rules of the tournament remain. If you win the prior year, you're enrolled automatically in the next year. So we see Rocky Johnson win the King of the North crown. Hey, what's up? How's it going? We're playing some TEW, some wrestling booking game today. And just kind of showing off my 12 years into this save with Roddy Piper as our user character. We have Rocky Johnson wins the belt, The Rock's father. Maybe that'll be a historic thing later. Ric Flair wins the next year. And then we get Jerry Lawler and Jerry Lawler again, back to back. So this is technically Jerry's 4th time winning the King of the North crown. Nice. Heck yeah, dude. Yeah. So after his 4th time winning the King of the North crown, Jerry Lawler declares himself the King of Wrestling. So now that we are kind of a global brand, so we're pretty large in Canada, medium technically, but we're also doing okay here in the States, and we have our own broadcaster. So we have worldwide coverage. I think we have the most coverage out of anybody in 1982, right? And we're an internet commercial broadcaster, which doesn't make a lot of sense, but it was actually the only one they would let me create, which was actually, I think that they meant to exclude internet, but the internet's the only broadcaster type I can create, which is extremely strange. So that's what we created. For sure. Yeah. Sorry about that, by the way. I usually have the oh, you can't hear me. Anyway, we welcome back. Yeah, sorry about that. I usually have the pre-rolls off so you wouldn't get back-to-back ads like that, but thank you for joining in early on us. But yeah, we are playing some TW as Roddy Piper, and I was just showing off I'm the only one with a broadcaster right now. And they would only let me make an internet type broadcaster, so it is what it is. But we have worldwide coverage over the globe. And so at that point, we're a global brand. King has won this. Jerry Lawler has won this crown 4 times. So he declares himself the King of Wrestling after defending it back in the day when the reigns were numbered in days, before Jake forsook the crown. So King makes it the King of Wrestling title. He's here to defend it. This is our tournament bracket for this year. We're right at the beginning. All these are pre-booked and we're ready to go for competitive spirit. Super saturated league style promotion. I mean, yeah, we're saturating the market for sure. We're probably saturated as far as our roster goes for sure, because I know who's going to be big and who I want to have around. But yeah, so we've got about 12 years of history. Robin Rhodes is a name you might not recognize. He's made up. He's like a generated character. Jeff Dan is a generated character. He's actually Hulk Hogan's partner in a tag team called Might and Flight. Jeff Dan's a cruiserweight. So is Robin Rhodes. So we've got this round of 16 set up. Jerry Lawler versus Lanny Poffo. Randy Savage versus Robin Rhodes. So we might have a brother versus brother if it comes to that. As the booker, I should know. But maybe we'll see that. We've had plenty of brother versus brother matches with them, but they're actually tagging right now. Brett versus Andre the Giant. Flair versus Dory Funk. We got Jerry Briscoe versus Jeff Dan. Dusty versus Harley. Hulk Hogan versus Roddy Piper. Bob Backlund versus Ted DiBiase. So it's gonna be a big show. I don't know. I'll be totally honest. I'm not sure yet. I have two people that I have in mind. So if we look back at our previous tournaments I think we stopped on the 7th. Yeah. So in the 8th annual King of the North, Ric Flair won, defeating Bret Hart for the title. The 9th annual King of the North, Jerry Lawler won, defeating Bret Hart for the title. And then the finals from last year was Jerry beating Andre the Giant. And when did Bret drop out in this one? Jerry defeated Bret. So the winner did defeat Bret 3 times in a row now, if not more. Actually, I don't think Bret was in this one. Or maybe he was. Yeah, Lanny defeated Bret. Okay. So it's kind of Bret's turn. And going into it, up into the last couple of months, I've been thinking, okay, Bret's going to win this next King of Wrestling tournament. But Hulk Hogan is a current tag team champion with his partner here. Only for 50 days, but they've been doing really, really good. Yeah, Andre is... So I've been doing as good as I can on Andre. He's considered a star, white hot momentum. He's working with Bobby Heenan. He's a heel now. At first, honestly, if we're being real, keeping it realistic went out the window when I had what was he at the time? I think we're 12 years in here, 16. I was an 18-year-old Roddy Piper that defeated Andre the Giant. And I was not 230 at the time, 6'2", 230. I was definitely smaller. It was a David versus Goliath kind of build. For a while, Andre had been beating me down. Andre does have, I believe, the record still for the longest reign. Yep. But yeah, there was a time where Roddy Piper, 2 years into this game, defeated Andre the Giant. Or right about 2 years. Defeated Andre the Giant. So I think, realistically, that's pretty rough. His losses are rare, but not as rare as they should be, for sure. Let me see here. Honestly, this is probably... Where is his match history? There we go. I don't know why that took me so long. These aren't all in my company. Obviously, he's getting defeated in other companies. But 33, yeah. Here, let me go to all years real quick. He's more than 66% wins. But he has been starting to struggle with basically his weight and his overall condition. He is good in ring. He is good, but he's not great. So I don't know. I've had a little bit of trouble pushing him lately. The stamina is part of the struggle for sure. Very minor negative impact. So I mean, he's not bad. The thing is the stamina, and so I've started to use him in a tag team more and more. He's in the Heenan family with Ted DiBiase, and they've been teaming up as the Mega Bucks. So it's been going pretty well for Andre overall. But yeah. So I will say there is a problem going on because I'm in Winnipeg or Manitoba, and before I created my own network here, I could only get on very small networks, and so in order for them currently in my company to be a major star, they have to have over a 70 in Manitoba. So right now, the only two major stars I even have are Ric Flair and Jerry Lawler. Uh, Andre moved down. I think he had an injury a while back, but he's at a 63, and I do protect him most of the time. I try not to have him lose very often. He's always kept strong. If he loses, he's kept strong. Although we might see something with that different a little bit. Generally, he's kept strong. But right now, the Pafos hold on to the Trios belt. They took it off the Von Erichs, who took it off the Midnight. Ric Flair is the world champion. He actually took it off of Jerry Lawler after winning, or Jerry won last year. So whoever wins this tournament, whoever wins the King of the Wrestling tournament every year, gets a shot at the belt. They're going to get a guaranteed title shot. Now, the champion is in here. And last year, for the first time ever, the champion actually won the entire event. What happens when the champion wins? He gets to pick his own opponent at the end of the year here at Insurrection. When that happened for the first time, he picked his tag team partner in this inactive unit called Serendipity. They're 3-time world tag champs. But early into the last reign, Jerry Lawler wins. He picks his own opponent. He gives his partner, Ric Flair, a shot at the belt. Face versus face, booked for last year's December Insurrection pay-per-view. It's the King of Wrestling versus the champion, Insurrection. So during that whole situation, Ric Flair goes and forms the Four Horsemen. And they turn on Jerry during the pay-per-view, formed a couple days before, or the night of. And Arn, Ole, Tully, and Flair beat Jerry down. They throw him in the cage for a cage match. And basically they Ric Flair turns on his quite a while tag team partner. And it's a revenge thing. It's a revenge from a while back when Jerry turned and took the belt off of Rick. So since 75, they've made up. They've had a tag run or two. Yeah. They had one in 78. And then their first one was way back in 73 to 74. Almost exactly a year. So they've had a long and storied history, have Ric Flair and Jerry Lawler. So, yeah. I think that pretty much catches us up to this year's tournament. I'm I'm thinking that if I don't pull the trigger on Hulk Hogan right now at 29, then I don't ever pull the trigger. And we don't ever have Hulkamania. We just have upper mid card tag champion Hulk Hogan, which I would be okay with. But Brett's 25. Brett's got he's got the television title right now. He's got many more years ahead of him. I mean, 4 more years. I think Brett's going to be having a longer shelf life than Hogan in general. But also, if I go here to the figurehead, Hogan is the only one that, if he's over enough and considered a major star, he's the only one that would be able to put this company on his back as the ace and carry it as the face of the company. Andre doesn't quite have enough star power. Andre was my figurehead for, I think, like 8 years. So Andre had his run, but I didn't set up an air and go directly into Hogan or anything. Brett doesn't have enough star quality, not charismatic enough. Dusty's lacking in a couple areas. Jeff Dan technically is lacking a lot in star quality. I don't think I would choose him as the figurehead regardless. Lawler's lacking in star quality. Neither of the Pafos are quite there. It's a shame that Macho Man's lacking in charisma. I don't see it, but it is what it is. And even Ric Flair is lacking star quality. And that's how is Andre the Giant more charismatic than Ric Flair? That's just drugs, man. Somebody was on drugs when they made this. Hulk Hogan's far more charismatic. He has more star quality. So this is what we're left with. If I go with Hulk Hogan as the winner, he can be a tag champion while he's the world champion. He can be the figurehead of the company. If I go with Bret Hart, we won't have a figurehead, but we'll have Bret Hart, who's an amazing technical wrestler, and it'll be his first reign of many, right? So I'm still up in the air. Maybe y'all can give a little bit of input as we go here. I know who's going to win in their first round bouts, so I'm ready for that. Let's get right into the action here. I say right in like we didn't spend 25 minutes there just introing. But yeah. We're going to give him the night off. We'll keep Pafo around. Oh man, I kind of don't want to keep Pafo around. But he's good for having a manager here. I'll get my We don't need Billy Graham. He's not in the tournament. Not going to need Bobby Eaton. Harmon in the tournament? No. Not Bender. Not Bruce Hart. Not Bruce Swayze. Yeah, I have an overblown roster right now. Don't shame me for it. It happens every time. Hennig is not in the tournament. Hebner, we'll keep him around. Schultz is not in the tournament. Von Erich is not in the tournament. Bravo's not in the tournament. We do have Dory Funk Jr. Dutch Mantel did not make the tournament. Keep cannon around. Race is in the tournament. Neither. Oh, Jerry Briscoe is in the tournament, not Jack. Bachwinkle. He's not in the tournament. We don't need Oldley tonight. We don't need Orndorff. These 8 matches are going to take up almost the entire card. So we don't need Rick Rude. Sherry. I don't think we need Sherry. We'll keep her around just in case. Stan Lane. We're good on Stan. Not going to need Siki. Ted DiBiase is in the tournament. Funk is not. His brother is. Terry Gordy is not in the tournament. Neither is the Skull, Tito, or Tully. That was just our well-known to unimportant. I believe most of these guys are in the tournament. Dusty is in the tournament. Hogan. Jerry. Lanny. Yeah. Okay. Everybody here's in the tournament. The Winnipeg Arena is recommended. We're going to sell out the Winnipeg Arena. And it actually is cheaper for us to work out of the Manitoba Coliseum. So I'm going to work in my own built venue. We're going to use our own broadcaster. Oh, shoot. Sent somebody home that I didn't need to. But whatever. Let's see here. We don't really need any finishes, but in general, I use a lot of creative finishes. We don't need any big gambles. All right. Hulk Hogan was the one student Harley Race was training. See, so at the same time, it's like, is Hulk even ready? Like, he's still getting training? I don't know. Let's bond it up. Me and Harley Race, Brett and Carl Gray, Harley Race and Bret Hart, Harley Race and Dusty, Harley Race and Lanny. Harley's making all kinds of good old friends. That was the only notifications. Okay. All right, we're gonna throw Ted DiBiase and Bob Backlund on here. Hey there. Hi, buddy boy. Ted's gonna get a first round dub. That should be fine. Bob Backlund is very upset about it. Oof. Okay. So if he wins, it's Backlund Hart. Let me talk to him. Well, without reorganizing my tournament, that's gonna be pretty tough. I have enough money to just pay him off, and I do want to elevate Ted DiBiase with a first round win here. So this should be good for DiBiase. Not good for Backlund, but it'll help out DiBiase. We're gonna add this to the booking sheet. Thinking about keeping Andre strong. No television title. Okay. I thought it might give me a notification there, but if he can do a 14-minute match, Andre's doing pretty good. If it was a steal the show, he would not be able to do that. No kind of all-out matches for Andre. We got Dusty versus Harley. Add that to the sheet. We got Dusty Rhodes winning in a wild brawl. Might increase that up 1 minute. Ooh. Hogan versus Piper. We're going to add that to the booking sheet. This is a storytelling match. Hogan's going to go over. Jerry versus Jeff Dan. Let's see what this one. I got Jeff Dan winning this one. Let's see if Jerry's okay with that. Okay. He's not going to fight me on it. Jerry Lawler's going to win this one with a creative finish. This is actually going to be the main event. Oops. Ric Flair versus Dory Funk. Going to be up there. No championship on the line. Just tournament stuff. Okay. There, I want to have Jerry, Brett, and Flair in the top. Might even move this. Yeah. Move that there. Backlund and Ted DiBiase can move down the card a bit. And there we are at 130 minutes. We have just enough time to book angles, and we should be good. Lawler promo. Afo promo. Give Dusty a nice long promo. Do a in-ring promo with me and Hogan. I believe this is our first ever. It's our first ever one-on-one. We teamed up in a 3v3 against the Fabulous Freebirds before. But this tournament will put us against each other. It's a face versus face match. That's the story they're telling. Usually storytelling's better with a heel versus face. But I kind of want to set it up for a down the line thing. Well, they'll have a better program with each other. Who else do we need? Savage versus Robin Rhodes should definitely be a promo. And then we need a Flair promo. So let me actually back this one up a couple minutes. Well, just one. These guys are both great promos. We'll start the show off strong with that one, and then we'll do a Flair promo in there as well. Oops. It'll actually be after he beats Dory Funk. He's going to go do a promo about the rest of the tournament. We're at 86. We would not be penalized. I don't think I have any guys really to fill out the undercard. Oh, yeah, we got Dave Finley and Angelo Poffo. I must have missed cutting people out with Dave. So we'll do one match on the undercard. We'll borrow Brad Armstrong up. Right. Cool. All right, that is our first show. That's Competitive Spirit 11. And that's always our kickoff show for this tournament. So the fans know what to expect. No tag matches on this one, but hopefully it'll be a good night. I think that Jerry and Lanny will put on a good enough show to at least maintain our popularity in Manitoba and increase it just about everywhere else. Otto and Ross have good chemistry. All right, Robin Rhodes. Savage did not do well without a script. He's hit or miss. Sometimes you catch Savage and he doesn't exactly get it done. Inconsistent a little bit on the promos, but very consistent in the ring. Wrestling rating of a 76, crowd ratings of 63. We did pretty good. 68 to kick off the show. Works for me. What's up, Con? Appreciate ya. Thank you for the lurk. We've got Jerry Briscoe and Jeff Dan, who have been feuding in their tag division. So that advances this storyline. But we've got, a pretty decent match here. 68, 65 segment rating. Hogan did a masterful job improvising with the crowd. Roddy Piper clearly enjoyed the freedom to go off script and performed well. Backlund DiBiase, that was a nice one. Bob Backlund, no slouch. But DiBiase goes over with a figure 4. We need to have DiBiase use something else. He shouldn't be using the figure 4. Dusty gets a nice promo in. Hogan and Piper was not as good as I would have thought, but it was a storytelling face versus face. So they're probably holding back quite a bit. Poffo enjoyed the freedom. Go off script. He's doing better than Savage is. Somehow. Harley Race and George Cannon have great chemistry. His manager. Dusty had a 64. Harley had a 72. Nice segment rating. The crowd's definitely getting into it. See what we got here. In a great 3-minute angle, we saw Jerry Lawler cut a promo. 75. The King of Wrestling. Oh wow. That was a nice step up. Man, maybe I should have made this the main event. Dory Funk. Flair's just so good, man. Flair's awesome. Okay, 83. Let's see if we can beat it. Flair was poor trying to improvise dialogue, but he has a hot catchphrase, so that made up for it. 75. Oof. Bret Hart had an 82. Andre had a 70. It was because of the keep strong that took a little heat off of it. But that's okay. Andre deserves it. Bret got a win over Andre, though. He advances in the tournament. He's on his way to breaking the TV title record. Oh, damn. Oh, damn. We used the creative finish and a steal the show. Waller had a 77. Lanny had a 76. And the segment rating came out to a 68. Crowd was buzzing. Lanny's got a hot new move. Yeah, I definitely should have had Ric Flair in the finale. I don't even know about taking the belt off of Rick. That's giving me some pause. Packed 18,000 people into the Manitoba Coliseum. Pretty decent show overall, but we lost popularity in 2 regions. That's not the move. Now, I will say, my overall goal with this company is going to be moving into the Great Lakes. So we're going to move the entire company to the Great Lakes. It doesn't really matter that we are losing popularity in our Canadian territories. I mean, it would be nice not to. We certainly don't want to be losing money there. That's where we make our money, or losing popularity, because that's where we make all of our money. But once we get the Great Lakes up to a 59, we're moving the entire company. So I'm not going to fret too hard about that. But it does definitely suck that we gave a disappointing kickoff to our tournament show. I always try to skip a media scrum. I'm not trying to do media scrums. I have definitely done quite a few, and it's silly as hell when you're in 1980 sitting around doing a media scrum and they ask you, like, oh, so and so, like tonight, they would have definitely asked me, oh, Bob Backlund got upset that he lost tonight, that you booked him to lose. It's like, bro, kayfabe is like fully active right now. Like kayfabe is still alive in this database. Can we not fucking have a press scrum where you ask me out of character stuff? The Sheik is leaving AWA. Eh? I don't need any more people on my roster. I got way too many. But all right, so that's our first round of our tournament. Jerry won, Savage won, Brett won, Flair won, Jeff Dan, Dusty Rhodes, Hulk Hogan beat Piper, and Ted DiBiase beat Bob Backlund. So for our quarterfinal round, we have Jerry Lawler versus Randy Savage, Bret Hart versus Ric Flair, Jeff Dan versus Dusty Rhodes, Hulk Hogan versus Ted DiBiase. So another way that I can see this going is that Hulk Hogan does win the tournament overall. Just hear me out. It's a possibility that Hulk Hogan wins the tournament overall, but Bret beats Flair in this quarterfinal round. So Bret has a win over the world champion. But Hogan wins the tournament overall, beating Bret. And so he has the shot at the world title. So if Hogan doesn't take the title off of Flair, Bret's first in line. Bret's the number 1 contender. I think Hogan, if he wins, because it's time to strap a rocket to him if we're ever going to do it. I think if he wins, Hogan does end up taking the title off of Flair. Bret goes on to have the longest TV title reign in history. But Hogan is going to probably take that title off of Flair. And then Bret still has a win over a world champion when they were world champion. but it doesn't hit the same as winning the title yourself or winning the tournament even and failing to beat the, because the other way it could go is that Brett wins the tournament. Brett has a shot at the belt and he loses. So he has one win over Flair, one loss to Flair. And they're 1-1. Brett goes on, still continues his TV title reign. Flair goes on, still continues his world title reign. Now I'm kind of leaning more towards that right now because of how great Flair is in the ring. Hogan has a lot of improvement in the ring to do, but he's already 29. And if we don't make him Hulkamania right now, I don't see it happening. Now, this is where things get interesting. We got Brett versus Flair. We got Jerry versus Randy. They've had a very long rivalry between Savage and Lawler. I think we're going to have Savage end up on top of this match and then build towards Brett versus Savage. Hogan's going to win this. His tag team partner is going to beat Dusty. And then we have Hogan versus his tag team partner in the semifinal round. Bob Backlund's pissed. Furious. Let's give him a promotion. Let's give him. How much does he get paid anyway? Only $450 a show. We're really some carnies out here, and that's after he got a raise. Give him a $4,000 bonus. See what that does. He's annoyed. All right, let's give him. His partner's injured right now. 37 days. So we'll give him 5 weeks off. If we can. We can give him 6 weeks off. That's fine. 6 weeks paid time off. Oh, he didn't give a fuck about that. All right, we'll give him 6 weeks paid time off. When he comes back, we'll give him another raise or another bonus. All right, so the King of the North is when we're going to finalize this tournament. We have 4 TVs between now and then. Do we, though? We have one tomorrow night, every Tuesday. One, two, three, four. Yes, we do. Awesome. So we're going to do one match per TV. Or no, we need to do 2 per TV semifinals on the go home show, and then the finals are going to be at the pay-per-view. So, all right, let's get it moving. Throw in some tag matches and some other stuff while we have the shot in the rest of our TV time. Forget how long the TV show is actually. I've been prepping for this one for maybe a week or so. So I actually haven't played this one, and I started a new game in 1992 as Paul Heyman, playing as Paul Heyman taking over ECW. And that's going well. All right, so, but as a result, yeah, I forgot how long my TV show is. 1.5 hours. Okay, yeah. At the 100th episode, I made it a 2-hour special. I think we did that for one more week, and then I dropped it down to an hour, and then I bumped it back up again recently because we just have so many guys. We just gotta do something. So, what do we got? We'll do Let me see. Let's do Hogan, DiBiase, and Lawler Savage. That'll save Brett Flair for the next main event and Jeff Dan and Dusty for later as well. Won't need Andre. Won't need Dusty this week or Jeff Dan. All the rest of these guys. Dorf and Neidhart gonna have the night off. Let's see. Dutch. I need to push Dutch a little more. Dennis gonna have the night off. Keep Schulte for now. Von Erich can have the night off. Forgot Jim Ross manages me. Yeah, all the Von Erichs can have the night off, actually. Oh. Excuse me. Oh. All right. I think that's enough nights off. Generic venue in Manitoba. 7,000 fans expected. Still think main stage theater's fine. Because it's a hotbed. I'd rather have a hotbed than a cool bed, you know? Like one of them race car beds. All right. Creative finish. We're just getting big gambles. Let's go here. I'm gonna do a gimmick idea. Cool. Probably sit on that for a while. Randy Rose brightened the backstage area simply by being so cheerful, fun to be around. I didn't even try to have him here tonight. I was gonna give him the night off. Terry Gordy has been getting ribbed a little because of how much he's been influenced by Ric Flair, even taking on some of his mannerisms. Terry is a wild personality, currently happy. Flair is selfish and extremely happy. Poffo came to me with a good idea for a creative finish. Ah, man, Angelo Poffo. Maybe he'll win the next 3v3 with that creative finish. The backstage gossip is that Earl and sensational Sherry had to be separated after a heated argument. I got a referee fighting a female manager. What the hell is going on, dude? Backstage rumor mill has been in overdrive after Jake the Snake Roberts and Ole Anderson apparently got into a heated argument. Well, that's nothing too bad, I guess. Look at Lanny. I love that the brother relationship between Randy Savage and Lanny Poffo keeps getting stronger. Flair and Hogan. That's a nice one to see. All right, cool. All right. So just to be sure again, we're doing Jerry, Randy, and Hulk Ted. Did I give? I didn't give Ted the night off, did I? No, I did not. Good. Hulk Hogan. He's gonna win that. Do another. Actually, we'll do regular for that one. I don't want to give Hogan too many storytellings back to back. And we got Jerry versus Savage. Now, King can afford to lose one. I want to start elevating Savage, so we're probably going to give this one to Mr. Randy Savage. And that way we also have a heel face matchup with Brett. Let me see, is he upset? He's a bit unhappy. Yeah, let's just keep him strong, just to be safe. We don't want him dropping 3 points, and Ric Flair's our only major star. But that's going to steal the show. That'll be our finale. Like I said, long storied rivalry here between tag team titles, world titles, all the above here. Quite a history. Give him 18 minutes. See who we got for tag teams tonight. We got the Funk Brothers. Let's include the booked. Flair and Ole. Versus the Funk Brothers. Yeah, I think that's what we'll do. Keep Flair warm. And we'll have, not Dory. We'll have Ole win and keep it a story. That'll be our storytelling match. Okay. We also are going to have Bret Hart in competition because he is the television champion. So whenever he's not in another thing, like doing his tournament fight, he'll be in competition. All right, so we got Dutch and Bobby are together. I think we've had him go up against Billy Graham quite a bit. Give Hennig a shot. Or we give Jake a shot. I believe Terry Gordy's buddies aren't here tonight. We'll give Terry Gordy a shot. They haven't had any one-on-ones in my company. They've only went one-on-one once in Stampede. And these guys do have a real beef going on between them. I meant to actually show it. It was on the front page when we started, the day that we, began the session here. That they got into a big fight backstage. Oh no. Not at my show, but at a Stampede show. They got into a big, not a fight, an argument. They got into an argument backstage. Now I am worried that having Flair on the card is going to make this less special. Let's do a creative finish. Do we have any more for September? Nope. All right. We'll do that. Cool. So we've got Jerry versus Randy Savage, Hulk Hogan versus Ted DiBiase. Those are our 2 tournament matches for this week. We got Brett defending his television title. We've got Ric Flair and Ole Anderson, who are slated actually as of 3 months ago to win Tag Team of the Year. They were the Tag Team of the Year so far, so maybe we can keep that going. Robin Rhodes will defend his cruiserweight belt tonight. Fuck it, we'll do Lanny Poffo. Parker. This is a newer belt we're working to establish. Robin is the first champion. He's got 13 defenses, 163 days behind him. Brett's got 210 days. The record is only 224, but I do have my plan is for Brett to go on and take this for 380, 390 days. But it'll all depend. If he ends up taking the world title, then we will probably take off the TV title. Oops, keep doing that. $87 minutes. Okay. I forgot. This is not a very huge show. We should no, we need that one for storytelling. There are a few minutes here and there. Okay. So should definitely do Jerry Randy. That Lawler versus Savage match is going to be our main event. Ted's usually alright with a promo, but he's kind of inconsistent as well. Give him a little less time to work with. Actually, we'll do a Brett versus Ric Flair promo. I'll actually put that one here. Move this one up. So this one happens in between their matches. Or wait, here we go. This is still too much. Would not be penalized. Okay. Then we'll take a minute off. This one. It will take 2 minutes off. Cool. So this match is, or this card is all set. We could set up a couple of post show and pre show matches real quick. Crazy Injustice. Yeah, we'll do Hospitality versus them. Perfectly Rude. Bourne and Schultz. For the pre-show. Give Rick Rude the dub. What else do we got? We'll do Billy Graham. Versus me. Let's do Michael Hayes versus me. Make it an open match. Been having trouble getting the Freebirds over. Now I've got all heels. So we'll borrow a couple faces from development. Danny Davis can come up. He's tag champ. And Ricky Gibson can come up. Cool. Do Jake versus Len Denton. Danny versus Billy Graham. And we'll do Ricky Gibson versus Tully Blanchard. Tully take that one home. Awesome. We've got our whole show built out now. Yeah. Got our creative ideas in place. Only really need the one. Should be good. Blanchard Gibson, 59, not bad. Nightmare Graham, not bad. Not bad. They have a chemistry. Good to know. Snake and Len Denton, not bad. All right, that does it for the pre-show. A 92. The performance of Jerry Lawler was good. Jerry Lawler did a masterful job. Nice. No comments from Savage. That's kind of crazy. All right. Gained some heat for our storyline. Flair had a 90 in this match. Wow. Wow. 77 overall. The Funk Brothers aren't what you would call over in our territory right now. All right, we got Flair doing a promo on Brett as Brett comes out for his match because they're going to see each other next week. Brett and Terry Gordy have a 76. Brett wins with a sharpshooter, defense number 25 of his television title. Awesome. Nice promo. Ted DiBiase did a masterful job improvising interactions with the crowd. And Hogan defeated him by pinfall with an axe bomber. Okay. Match rating 72. Jeez. What? Oh, man. I would, like, as soon as I start recording, just have terrible. Not terrible, but like, what the hell, dude? A 69 overall? Randy Savage defeated Jerry Lawler. They wanted to see Lawler win. Match was designed so the wrestler should go out and steal the show. A 77 and a 76. Wrestling rating of 77. The crowd wasn't happy. The heel won, and they're pissed. Okay. Noted. All right. Increased in 55 regions with a 76. So that 90 promo saved me. That 91 overall promo that they did is what saved me there. Cause yeah, I was worried. But okay. We made it through just barely. I was hoping that would be an 80 something. Honestly, I thought they had a shot at it with the creative finish and steal the show on. They have seen it over the years many times. But it's not like they've seen it recently a lot. So, I don't know. I thought that matchup would have worked out better. If I would have had Jerry winning, it probably would have been a 70. 77, 78. But all right. Terry Funk always needs time to heal. He's working like 9 jobs. Okay. One half of our quarterfinals done. We got Brett Flair and Jeff Dan Dusty coming up. Yeah. I really would have liked to have gotten my 1 point of popularity back. Back up to a 78 there, but that did not happen. Ric Flair Brett should at least give us an 80 something. If Brett doesn't make him and Ric Flair produce an 80 something, then we might have to seriously question who's taking over. Kitty. My love, kitty. What you doing, girl? Daddy sleeping in your spot. Miko boy up on the back of the chair. Yeah. Didn't mean to cause that to happen. Is this thing not showing my cursor? Supposed to. It says it's showing my cursor, but I don't see it. Random profile. Vince McMahon. He's actually running the World Athletic Association right now, as his father has not stepped down to make him booker or owner of WWWF for the time. Oh man, all these folks need some pay raises, eh? Yeah, that's fair. Holy crap. Okay. 5,300 per month? Oh, he wants 3,000. Okay. I can do that, but geez, man. Geez Louise, Lanny. He's happy. Yeah, I should have gave him a 75% increase. They walk out of the office happy, you know you fucked up. Pleased is fine. Pleased is what you want. Happy? You're paying them too much if they're happy. But Lanny and Randy are signed to me exclusively. They're like my two big stars for house shows. They're going to all the house shows, you know, making all of that house show money, that $500 uh 3 times a week. So, you know, they deserve it. They're working a lot. Sika sustained a foot contusion at Full Throttle. Didn't look like it was a botch or anybody's fault. And sometimes they draw more. Obviously, if they go to a region where we have higher popularity, they're going to draw more at the house shows. Ricky Morton quits CWF. Okay, so he's fully just working with the developmental deal. I might sign the Midnights to also be on my house shows. It doesn't let you do written deals right now. There's a thing in the database that makes it so that in this entire era, you can't do written deals. It's kind of whack. But you can get people to exclusive house shows by doing like exclusive handshake deals that pay monthly. And that wouldn't be a bad idea to sign the Rock and Roll Express to a deal like that. My pretty kitty, my pretty girl. Here we go. There we go. I fixed the cursor thing. All right. Yeah, see, Quebec pulled a pretty good number in Quebec. All right. Start Throwdown TV. Snow hasn't done anything all of September. We can keep Angelo. We'll give Justice the night off. Leave him for now. Let him be. Funk's the night off. I think I could use the midnight night. Ram the night off. Yeah, Oli can have the. DiBiase's out. He can have the night off. Roddy's good. Oli's good. I don't think we don't need Lawler tonight. Don't need Andre. We got Brett Flair. And then Jeff Dan and Hulk Hogan? Or no. Jeff Dan and Dusty. Oh, yep. Fair enough. Bret Hart creative idea. That's good. Don't need that one though. Cool. Flair's gotten a lot of heat for his selfish behavior. He has the selfish personality type. I'm gonna give him a stern warning. So he knows. Not okay. Selfish. I wish Angelo would teach them something other than booking. That does not help me. Psychology's nice. Thank you. Kerry Von Erich and Jim Ross butted heads and are furious with each other. Al Snow was in fine form, keeping everyone in a great mood with his hilarious road stories. Created a relaxed and happy atmosphere. Nick Bockwinkel unveiled a series of spot on impressions of some of his colleagues. Cool, cool. Let's do another team bonding. Should be all good. Yep. Briscoe and Hulk, Carl Gray and Jeff Dan, Nick Bockwinkel and Savage, Savage and Lanny. They must be the best of brother friends. Got the most healthiest relationship. Ooh, yeah. Randy Savage and Ric Flair. So Randy Savage is officially at a 70. Beautiful. That's what we wanted. It's going to be tough because he's going to lose to Brett. But hopefully Brett will also be a main eventer by that point. So here we go. $20-minute match. Bret Hart, steal the show. Open. Not putting the title on the line. Either title. Flair's unhappy. We'll keep him strong. Still unhappy. Let's talk to him. All right, buddy. Not keeping you strong then. Gonna be unhappy either way. You'll fucking figure it out, pal. Oh, okay, cool. All right. Then we have Dusty and Jeff Dan. Yep. Jeff Dan goes over Dusty.
Business bad? Fuck you, pay me. Oh, you had a fire? Fuck you, pay me. Place got hit by lightning, huh? Fuck you, pay me. If I get one of those TVs?
Nah, I'll be sorry.
Nice. What's up, man? How's it going? Let me see Jeff Dan's skills in this. He's a decent brawler. He's more known for his aerialist flashiness, all that good stuff, but he's a decent brawler. We'll do that. Oh, he doesn't have the... Damn, Jeff Dan. That's why I'm leaving you behind, and Hulk Hogan's gonna be moving on soon. Can't even fucking do a 12-minute match. Thank you for the prime. Appreciate it. Helps out big. We're playing as Roddy Piper today. And we are 12 years into this save. 12 years and 9 months into this save profile. It works. Yeah, I know, dude. Yours never works. That's crazy. That's actually wild. It's just having a good month today. Doing your first local to global in years, debating whether to do shows bi-weekly or monthly. If you're just starting out a local to global, I would recommend monthly. That's what I did with this. This was a local to global. I didn't make that clear that this was a local to global. But I guess saying that I'm 12 years in and we're only medium size, that should cover it, but doesn't necessarily. But yeah, this was a local to global. I would start out with monthly shows because you're still going to be able to raise your popularity up and you're going to get better profits. So local to global, you definitely want to make sure you're stockpiling some cash. Obviously, I was able to, about 10 years into my run, buy my own broadcaster, and that's major. Now, it is partially because of the era I'm in. The era I'm in, guys aren't making money. The guys are not making money. These two guys are making money because they're assigned to exclusive monthly deals and they're working on all my house shows. But these guys aren't making money. These guys barely making money. They're making more money on merch than they are on shows. So, that was definitely a big part of why I was able to stockpile so much cash. But if I was running bi-weekly from the very beginning, I wouldn't have been able to build my armory as fast because you will build up your popularity a little bit quicker, which helps with the money in the long run. But what you really want to do, especially if you're starting local and growing to global, is get that merch going. Get that merch going right away. So I would do monthly shows in a rapid, as long as your your income allows you to do this. I would do my shows monthly, and I would do my merch upgrades at rapid, so that you can get up to level I think it's level 6 that you need to, when it starts giving you the breakdown of all your guys and they're making money individually rather than just selling company t-shirts, cuz before that you're not selling individual you're not I shouldn't say you're not selling. You're not creating individual merch for each of your stars. You're just creating merch that's like, oh yeah, the company's merch, like CWW, in my case, merch. Championship Wrestling from Winnipeg merch. And the guys are bringing their own merch to sell, but you're not getting any money on any of that. Once you start making money off the guys' merch and they take their 10%, 20%, whatever they end up taking, but that's where you start making lots of money. Bruno Sammartino was earning me over 100K every month just selling his merch when he was healthy. Bruno's out right now. He's injured. But he was making me an awful lot of money when he was here. And that's just my recommendation. I've done lots of local to globals. I can't help myself. I pretty much always do a local to global. Uh, unless I have some kind of other theme that I'm working on, like running ECW as Paul Heyman. Even in that case, I mean, they're not insignificant, but they start out tiny. So it's not too different. But that would just be what I recommend for you. You could do it with biweekly, and I'm sure you'll do well, and you probably will get bigger than me in 12 years time. You might be large, especially if you don't start in Manitoba, Canada. That's a whole different conversation though. But yeah, I would recommend monthly just from my perspective. But good luck on your local to global, man. Yeah, it's a slog sometimes. Damn, even on storytelling this man can't go 15 minutes. Whatever. But a fun slog, you know what I mean? It's a good time. That's why I do it every time. Like I said, I can't help myself. Dino Bravo versus Hogan. Should I do Neidhart? That would be good to add to the drama of the tournament because Neidhart's Brett's partner. Drama. Man, this too high? Is Angelo Poffo being used too much? Yes, he is. So is Mach. So we're gonna move this down. Piper. Versus. Didn't I use Dino Bravo already? Nope, Neidhart. That's right. All right. What else we? How much time we got? Okay, well, nope. We need to cut time. Still being used too much. Yeah. Well, whatever. All right. Let's do Ric Flair solo promo. And we'll do a Bret Hart promo. Dusty Rhodes. Jeff Dan's pretty good promo, right? Oh, yeah. Solid. Those. Yeah, I don't really want to give anybody else any less time or a storytelling match. Okay, cool. That should be fine. Let's see about a couple of pre-show matches. Do the Midnights. Midnight's Von Erich's on the post show. He won't. We'll give Buddy Roberts a chance to gain some stamina. Too young to be not able to do a fucking 10-minute tag match. Let's do 3v3 here. Bobby, Stan, and Dennis. I'll have David win that one. Justice isn't here. Bachwinkle and Orndorff might be a solid team. We'll try that out. Pre-show. Lee. This a pre-show match. And make this. Oh shit. Or well, wait. Is anybody? No, all right. Okay. Then we'll throw some singles down. Daddy Siki. versus Bruce Swayze. Oh, Sweet Daddy wins. Damn, he ain't got time for a 10-minute. Whatever, man. Fuck it. Bases. Al Snow a match against Brennan Bender. Bender wins. And we'll borrow a heel tag team. Who do we got? Yeah, we'll bring in Alpha. Ooh, forgot Sika's hurt. It'll be all right. All right. Flair's unhappy. He's gonna be. Use a creative angle here. Creative finish, I should say. Ooh. I'm gonna save this one. I've been getting messed over, so let's take a safe bet. All right. Good to run this show. Sweet Daddy Siki and Bruce Swayze do not click. Made for an awkward performance. Nice promo with Dusty. Not a bad show opener. Not bad overall, considering Angelo Paffa was off his game and can't go for 10 minutes. That's a 30-minute or a in-ring performance of 30. Rhodes. Oh, now that I added Lanny, it's perceiving these guys as all being in the cruiserweight division, so that's fine, whatever. Titan Flight, Hogan versus Neidhart. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. They did feud with the tag champs there for a minute. Flair promo was an 88. Commentary, Ed Whalen was pretty weak on commentary. Might have to look into better color commentators soon. Dang. Okay, Dusty had a 63. Jeff Dana had a 66. The wrestling rating was a 64. Crowd rating was a 67. Segment rating's a 52. Is that because there's no storyline involved? That must be what's going on. That's bad news for our next. It's bad news for our next match. 85. Yes, dude. Flair had a performance of 90. Bret Hart had a 80 for a full 85 wrestling rating. Creative finish was good. Crowd was hot. Flair had a hot new move. Chemistry with his manager. 85 overall. Good stuff. Briscoe had an 81. Dude, Jack Briscoe. If only your brother could keep up. You guys would still be tag champs. All right. And yeah, David, Kerry, Kevin, all doing pretty solid. Dennis is up there. Stan needs to get up there. Bobby's close. All right. Increased our show popularity in 56 regions. Nice little tidy little profit there. And it didn't raise in our main region, but it did give us a little bit of credit back in Ontario. So, all in all, that was a pretty successful show there. Got a 3.39 rating. 64,000 viewers. Not 64, 644,000 viewers. Oh, thank you for the follow, Harold the Hyena. Appreciate it. We do a lot of wrestling content here on the channel. So if you enjoy TEW, you will definitely enjoy the most of the other stuff. I do a lot of variety stuff as well, but a lot of it's wrestling. Probably going to play some Wrestling Empire later this week because I've been missing my boy Max Carnage, my Wrestling Empire character. It's been a few weeks since we checked in on Max Carnage. We got to see about his career, where he's at. You like the TEW? Oh, okay, yeah. I mean, I like to bring the people what they like. So we're 12 years into a local to global run. This is actually the first time I've ever streamed this particular company. I'm playing as Roddy Piper, and we're doing really well. We're doing a tournament, so I'm streaming this specific tournament to get the whole thing through, and pretty excited about that. We're at 98 followers, which is awesome. Something pretty special is gonna happen when we hit 100. Not pressuring anybody, but something pretty special is going to happen when we hit 100. So even if it's not TEW content or the exact type of content you're looking for, might be interesting to stick around or tune in the next few broadcasts. I knew an indie wrestler named Max Carnage. Are you serious? I thought I came up with the most original fucking name. That's crazy. Max Carnage. So in Wrestling Empire, M. Dickey's Wrestling Empire, there's a very common like dialogue that happens every time you like go a little overboard and maybe you break through the announce desk and maybe you bust a railing, like you spear somebody through the barricade or you break a bunch of stairs, or you just cause a whole mess of the place. And the promoter will come to you and shake you down for money and say, "Hey, you made a fucking mess. You destroyed the venue, and I had to pay for damages, and blah blah blah." And he basically shakes you down for some money. He fucking takes you by your ankles and flips you over and makes all the money come out of your pockets. And he's telling you how much you need to pay him. And then when you pay him, he's like, "Oh, okay, thank you for that. Next time, just try to tone down the carnage a little." So I named my guy Max Carnage because I ain't gonna tone the carnage down a little. You could just keep shaking me down, but yeah, I'll never tone down the carnage. So that's why Max Carnage. But that's awesome that you knew an actual indie wrestler named Max Carnage. I thought I was hey, gimmick infringement over here, okay? But I didn't know, so it wasn't like I just pulled his shit and was like, "Hey, I'm gonna steal that." But that's funny. That's actually funny as hell. Midwest, we got a little decent house show money. Jimmy Golden leaving GCW. Why does he want to negotiate? Not available in Canada. Gotcha. That's right. Ron Bass is handing in his notice. Okay. Bob Brown is leaving my company. My child company. Bob Brown's leaving. Bob Brown's been around for, let's see, he's been around for a long time. Yeah. Literally, he's been working with me since the beginning of the game. Since 1970, I signed him to my Championship Wrestling from Winnipeg. And then we Had him around. Sent him to developmental back in March of '81, and now he's leaving. All right, man. I guess if it's time to move on, it's time to move on. Jimmy Hart is. Oh, come on, Jimmy. All right, I gotta shortlist you. How long? So we are mid tournament right now. I'm gonna go probably for the way it's going, maybe another, well, almost an hour. I'm trying to hurry it up because I actually need to eat dinner here soon. But I'll show you where we're at in our tournament. So we're actually at the semifinals. The first round, we had Jerry Lawler beating Lanny Poffo, Randy Savage defeating a generated character who's our cruiserweight champion. Bret Hart defeated Andre the Giant, kept Andre strong. Ric Flair defeated Dory Funk Jr., another generated character who's a cruiserweight and is a tag team championship partner with Hulk Hogan in a tag team called Might and Flight. Yeah, send it out, especially if they love TEW. That would be awesome, man. Because we're really trying to hit that 100 followers. I've been in the 90s for a little while here, and we have something from a subathon I did a while back, that a goal that never got reached, and we're gonna make it happen if we hit 100 today, or whenever we do hit 100. So it would be much appreciated if you would be able to. We got Dusty beat Harley, Hogan beat Piper, DiBiase beat Backlund. The quarterfinals, we saw Savage defeat Lawler. Hell yeah, man. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, if you still have the indie wrestler you knew, Max Carnage, definitely don't send him anything, dude. We don't need any lawsuits. The Izzy Dexter broadcast can't afford any lawsuit. No, I'm just playing. Uh Hopefully he would like it. But yeah, Bret Hart defeated Flair. We had Jeff Dan, Hogan's partner, beat Dusty Rhodes. Hogan beat Ted DiBiase. So now we got Hogan versus his tag team partner, who is their tag team champs together. So that's a big moment. They're a face heel tag team, so it's a really interesting thing. I don't think they've ever faced off against each other. And we have Randy Savage versus Bret Hart. I'm still not sure who's going to win this tournament. So it's a pretty I mean, that's up in the air. It's either Bret or Hogan. But I'll be taking votes. Maybe we'll do a poll. Maybe I'll drop a poll when we get there. But yeah, I should be going maybe another 45 minutes to an hour, I would imagine. Oh, let's see. Who are we going to give the night off to? We don't need Andre tonight. We don't need Dusty anymore. It's just Hulk and Jeff versus Bret Randy. We don't need Lanny. Don't need Jerry tonight. I'm tempted to keep Rick around. Maybe I'll do Rick and Ole match again. We'll give Robin. Let's see, what's he doing? We'll give Robin a title defense. But yeah, I appreciate the word of mouth, man. That's pretty much how we've grown the channel. I mean, I haven't been able to do any other like kind of big promotional stuff. So that's the way we get out to the people. Thank you for the follow, Microwave Hot Dog. Appreciate it. We're up at 99 now. Big ups to Harold the Hyena. Thank you for spreading the love, my man. Let's see here. We got Graham. We can give him the night off. Hydrate. Oh, good idea, man. Honestly, I've been sitting here, had this water next to me for a minute. I haven't been hitting it. Microwave hot dog. Thank you for the redemption. I love Kitty. My kitty kitty. Pretty girls. Going up there. Girls. All right. We can keep Hennig on this show. Give Swayze a night off. Give Schulte a night off. Von Erichs were on the last show. Got too many damn wrestlers, man. Keep Oli. Rick the night off. Tito the night off. Give Tully the night off. I think I want Siki to be here. Well, give Siki the night off. I gave Andre the night off, so I might as well give Ted the night off. All right. Yeah, my usual TEW run is gonna be. We're gonna get back to that. Oh, the cat's name is Love. That was Love. I've got quite a few. All the emotes down there are different cats of mine. So yeah, there's Love and Passion are the two gray kitties, the twins, we call them. Angelo, night off. But yeah, my usual TW series that we're gonna get back to is gonna be Andre the Giant. I was running a TW series with Smoky Mountain Wrestling, where we oh shoot, we hit the goal, 100 followers. Thank you, Carlmer. Appreciate it. This has been a long time coming. That follower goal, and this was actually a previous goal. Actually, here, let me pop it open full screen. Just a minute. Go. Carl Murr. Okay, pronounce Calmer. There we go. Yeah, thanks for being our 100th follower here at the Z Dexter broadcast. So we had a subathon back in June where I was playing all the Mafia games. Well, we had a variety subathon and we had another subathon, and neither one of these the goal was reached. So big thanks to everybody that helped out today. And we are going to actually break, and this works out really awesome that it's right next to Halloween. We're going to break this piñata behind me. And it's full of candy and also has some D20s in it that we're going to find out what they roll. Love girl, my pretty girls. My pretty girls here, baby. Girl, we're going to break a piñata. I had to shut it. I don't want to scare him. Want me to do a drop kick? I don't quite have a Maven drop kick. I don't want to take a bump on the floor right now. But I'll do like a punt kick. We got a singular Kit Kat for that. Yeah, I know, that's more of a side kick. I don't want to take a bump on my floor right now. If I had a little more room. Yeah, I don't even have it. I could feel my back wanting to give up. Oh. I thought that was melted. I thought something melted through the wrapper. It was just... Thankfully not. It's just pinata pieces. Cracked right open at the bottom. One of my D20s got a 2 on it. That was quick. Yo, it was not quick if you were here the whole time. We've been waiting to do that for so long. You guys aren't going to believe it. The Incredible Hulk die rolled a 20. Yes, I do play D&D. So that's another one of my big I don't stream a lot of D&D, but I play a lot of D&D like games, a lot of RPGs. But wrestling, D&D, hip hop, that's what it's about. Like those are my hobbies right there. If I had to break it down to just 3 things, it'd be wrestling, hip hop, D&D, or maybe hip hop, D&D, wrestling. It changes week to week, honestly, what order. But those are the 3 elements of Izzy Dexter. All right. Let's see. Mach can have the night off. Wrestling tabletop game? Nice, dude. Yeah, I actually invented. I created my own wrestling tabletop system back in the day. It was a D100 system. And it was kind of TEW based, right? It would be like your skill, and you try to roll under your skill rating. It was fun. We ended up playing more TEW, me and my friends, than playing the tabletop version. But we basically called it pen and paper. It was pen and paper TEW. But we had the dice in there, and then it would, that would improve your odds at. Honestly, we had some really good match ratings in that. But thank you all. Really appreciate y'all showing up, showing out. Especially you, Harold, if you got some reached out to some people, let us hit that goal. We've been teetering right in the 90s for quite a while, so I really appreciate it, man. Thank you all. Ooh, a little wrong tube action there. But yeah, I'm in. Y'all saw me in my pajama pants. I didn't know I was gonna be standing up for this stream, but I got underwear underneath, and no I show speed incident or anything. Give Finley a night off. Bourne a night off. Rose can have the night off. All right. I think we're ready. We'll give Dean and him the night off as well. You do deserve some of these candies. I don't know the quickest way to get them to you. If you pick them up, you come and pick them up. Actually, I don't even want to encourage anyone showing up to my house at any point. So, but yeah. How about that? You give me a PO box, and I'll send them out. Hulk Hogan, Michael Hayes, Dan Lane, and Kurt Hennig, all getting trained by Harley Race. Good stuff. Pretty sure I'm a C or two away. Okay. Where are you at, Harold? If you don't mind me. I don't need an address, but where are you from? Bret Hart and Jeff Dan became stronger. Randy and Carl Gray's relationship became strong. Estonia. Okay, bet. Yeah, I don't know if it'd be worth the customs really. If I was already sending out a package, to Estonia, and it was within a weight threshold, I could throw a few candies in, but yeah, I don't know. Let me see here. Show history. We've had 2 shows, so we've got 2 pieces of tournament to do. We got Randy versus Bret, Jeff versus Hulk Hogan. Yeah, I didn't think about that. We're only doing one of these right now. Okay. So we got Bret and Randy. And then I think we'll do Jeff. My favorite wrestler right now. That's a tough one. Maybe like 5-6 months ago I might have said Cody Rhodes. Gunther is one that I enjoy his matches. Braun Breaker. I'm hype about Braun Breaker. I wouldn't necessarily say he's my absolute favorite right now. See, I never was a Cody fan. I never really dug his stuff. I didn't watch the AEW stuff. That match, I did see the match with Dustin. So I saw the Cody versus Dustin match. That was really good. And I kind of started to appreciate like his work then. Oh, the cats are bugging. They want in. Though I should I'll probably leave them out until I get some of this other candy picked up. But yeah, the Cody Dustin match really like kind of started me enjoying it. He was good in ROH, yeah. The Bullet Club stuff. But really just like the last couple manias, like the 40 and 41 of it all. Um I was a big fan of his work there, and it actually got me back in. Like I was a pretty casual viewer, and I still am really. Um but for a while I had missed pretty much for like 5 to 8 years. Yeah, I mean, I'm not a big fan of much of anything WWE like that they're doing right now. But I don't really watch AEW either. But for like 5 to 8 years or so, I was kind of only tuning in to like Royal Rumble to Mania, Royal Rumble to Mania, and just watching that like build. Um, so I don't know. I was definitely like a. I was still watching classic stuff. I was watching old Smoky Mountain wrestling, watching old ECW wrestling, all that good stuff. But and old Attitude Era stuff, especially with the network when the network was around. But never was super into the PG era. And yeah. Never really got into like the PG era stuff as much as I did like the old stuff. So, but I don't know, the Cody's story and like finishing his story and the whole bloodline angle and stuff. Like when I watched Mania that year, I was thinking Cody's got it. He's in the bag, like whatever. And then Roman won. And they kind of hooked me there. Cuz I was like, damn, like not only did I not expect that, kind of came out of left field, but also I I just I really wanted to see him finish the story. Like, yeah, besides the Attitude Era, I never got the hype. Yeah, I get that. I really was a big fan of the Attitude Era. I stuck around for a while after through most of Ruthless Aggression, and I was a big Edge fan. Um, I was definitely an Edge head. So I was a fan of his stuff too. But yeah, at a certain point, it got to the point where I was like, a big Hardy Boys fan. I love the Hardy Boys. A lot of that stuff, like coming out of the Attitude Era, was really good. Um, mm, Attitude Era overhyped. I mean, it is definitely looked back now with such nostalgia. Like everyone's like, "Oh, it was the best time ever in wrestling," and I agree that it wasn't like perfect. It doesn't hold up in the same way um, as it did then. But like Austin, if you watch King of the Ring all the way to WrestleMania 14, like that's the chase. Austin's chase, one of the most amazing like arcs in professional wrestling to me. WrestleMania 13 is my favorite match of all time. Austin versus Brett I Quit match. That is hands down like the most beautiful piece of visual art that I've ever watched. Like that shit is a movie. It's better than most movies. That one match. So, yes, there was a lot of filler. Yes, besides the main storylines or besides the main card like the main eventers, the storylines were pretty mid and Vince Russo was doing all kinds of stupid shit. And yeah, there was very jokey gimmicks and shit like that going on. But overall, that made up for it. The main event stuff made up for it, in my opinion. Um, I mean, it had its moments that were golden, and that was enough for me. Especially I was a kid. Looking back on it, because I have rewatched. Like I said, I was still watching the old stuff. I have rewatched all the way through the Attitude Era, literally from that King of the Ring that I was talking about, where he does the Austin 316 speech, all the way to 2006, 2007, and it doesn't hold up as like great television. Not every episode of Raw is an excellent 2 hours of television. It just isn't. But there is some great stuff to be picked out of there for sure. And overall, I mean, wrestling is bigger now than it's ever been. But at that time, it was like finally permeating into the mainstream in a different way than just like Hulkamania permeating through. Like a few guys made it mainstream, like Piper made it mainstream, Hogan made it mainstream, Savage made it mainstream, Flair pretty much made it into the mainstream. But at that point in the Attitude Era, wrestling had made it into the mainstream. And that's why there is a company today that, to be bought out by the Saudis is because of the Attitude Era and the advancements and everything that was made then. Yeah, I that is a hot take. I definitely agree with like it more and more. A lot of people that I respect, like Jim Cornette, and people will talk about it and just say like, "Oh, they made fools of the business and they did this and that." And honestly, I get it. Like I respect that take and I agree with it in a lot of ways. That DX was like a problem backstage. I mean, that's not even something you have to agree with. That's just facts. Like that's just the reality of the situation. But yeah, I liked Shawn and Triple H. I always rooted for the heels myself. So I liked Shawn a lot more, like way more than I liked Triple H. Yeah, I mean, somewhat. So he can be correct for the wrong reasons pretty often, but I mean, his reasons aren't bad. Like his reasons for hating DX are that they made fools of the business. Obviously, they broke kayfabe when they did the curtain call. The Clique was a bunch of whiny, petulant children. Like he has good reasons, at least for that. But I, the on-screen stuff that they did was pretty nice. Like for heels, like they made you hate them, and Jim Cornette hates them to this day. But they made you hate them. I mean, the old people care so much about kayfabe because it's their way of life. I mean, it's how they made money. If there was no kayfabe, there was no wrestling business in their minds. Obviously, now we know kayfabe's gone, and like I said a minute ago, the wrestling business is bigger than it's ever been. But back then, it was secret, cloak and dagger, hush hush. Like if this secret ever gets out, it's over. And in a lot of ways, it is. You know what I mean? It irreparably damaged the business forever. Not just the curtain call, but like the overall ending of kayfabe and the death of kayfabe. I can understand where the business before was completely a different entity. You know what I mean? It's a big change. So I can respect that. See, I don't. That's a hot take. I can't necessarily agree with that. The getting rid of kayfabe benefiting wrestling overall. I mean, I could see some of the points, and maybe you can make some more points, but I just don't necessarily agree off rip of that. It opens up the door for great storylines. I mean, with the great storyline being like guys who dislike each other in real life, because they were doing that before and it was already believable. It was believable even when the guys did like each other and they were just convincing you that they don't like each other in real life. It was already believable in most cases when it was good, right? Um so I don't know about that one. I mean there were a lot of great storylines before and there will, you know, they'll continue to do good storytelling. You can tell a great storyline with or without kayfabe. But I think you can buy into a rivalry a lot better with kayfabe when it was still going on. Like the reason everyone looks back at the Attitude Era and says it was like the greatest stuff ever is because they were a kid and they didn't know any better. Like they didn't know that the shit wasn't actually like the storytelling wasn't real. If everyone still thought that it not that everyone thought it was, but if the majority of people were still shielded from that fact and like kayfabe was still going on, I think it would be they would have looked at the 2000s, the kids of now, or you know, people our age, people a little older than us, people a little younger than us, I should say, would have looked at the 2000s like the best ever. The people who are way younger than us would have looked at the 2010s as the best ever. It would have just kept going. But that permeation into the mainstream and the resulting like breaking of kayfabe afterwards is why everyone. I know the curtain call happened a little like a ways before the Attitude Era and stuff, but I mean like the overall breakdown of like acknowledging on your television that your television is just for entertainment, like the screw job and everything. That era is looked on with such nostalgia because now it doesn't happen. Like you don't get it anymore. Because imagine the people have a feud, but one of the people have a drug problem and this is public but not a part of their gimmick. But then other wrestler brings it up to the audience, don't know if it's scripted or not, causing it to be more intense. Yeah, like CM Punk, Jeff Hardy. I mean, I get a personal issue is what wrestling's about though, like having a personal issue. So and then yeah, exactly, you don't know if it's scripted or not. So it's just them playing up the new thing. Like it's now you don't know if they're working you or not. Before, you never thought they were working you. And that was I think that was to the benefit. To be honest, I got to hire in some locals. Not locals. Damn it. Got to borrow some workers. But yeah, I think overall it probably was not as bad as some of the old timers thought it would be, but it wasn't like a good thing to happen to the business. They're at 96. It's almost time to bring them back. I think it's more interesting and brings the audience more involved So there were always people that were smart though. Like there were always like the smart marks, as they call them, that were looking at the dirt sheets and like getting into the Wrestling Observer, like the Observer crowd and all that stuff. So I mean, I get what you're saying. It's maybe more accessible. Like the smart audience is like now they have more access, and like becoming part of that audience is easier. But I don't know that um that overall that if that's great. You know what I mean? Because then you get um different outcomes, like people not buying into the angles as much. Like I'm 28. But like people knowing that Bret Hart, not Bret Hart, what am I saying? I'm booking Bret Hart here. Um Knowing that in real life Seth Rollins was not injured. Like you get outcomes like that where if you wouldn't have known or wouldn't have thought that the business was a work and you weren't like checking out the Observer, it would have come as much more of a shock. Whereas like because we have so many smart fans and we have so many people that are watching this thing from an analytical lens and knowing about the background, it was trending if he was injured or not. Yeah, I mean, it was going back and forth, but that wouldn't have even been a conversation if it was kayfabe. You know what I mean? Like nobody would have thought that he would have been doing that, but it was reported already. Like people who are really in like the sheets and stuff already knew. And the fact that they didn't come out and say what the injury was and talk about the recovery process or anything kind of gave it away. Yeah, I mean, it did give it a little bit more of a buzz, but it also ruined the surprise. So I could see both sides of it, um, to some extent. How old are you, if you don't mind me asking? Um, but yeah, I mean, it could have been better because I 22. Okay, but yeah, I feel like it would have. I said our age earlier without even really knowing how old you are. But yeah, I just feel like it could have delivered harder when he dropped the crutches if I didn't already have that seed planted in my mind that the guys on the inside said, "Oh yeah, this was planned and they knew about it weeks before." If there wasn't a bunch of insiders talking about that kind of stuff. Which who's to say they wouldn't have anyway? Like there were people talking about the curtain call when it happened. There were people talking about the screw job when it happened. I mean, overall, it's not like I said, it's not as impactful as everyone thought it would be, but it is. I think it is negatively impactful in a way. It's like Christmas when you knew Santa. I don't know if you guys in Estonia celebrate in the same way or anything, but like it's like when you knew Santa or when you thought Santa was real, like as a kid. Christmas was a big deal. It was like the night that magic happens. And then when you know that it's not, sure, it's still great. Sure, you're going to celebrate. Sure, you're seeing your family and it's a holiday and you might get a present or two and it's all well and good, but it's not the same ever. It's never going to be the same as when you thought Santa was real. you can't put the rabbit back in the box. You know what I mean? Show. Oh, Terry Funk. My bad. Sorry, I broke kayfabe for you. Man, they really had you going for a while there, huh? But you know what I mean. Like it's never gonna be the same. I also love that kind of stuff personally, like indie stuff. So I'm more into touching the lines of kayfabe and not. Yeah, I can understand that. When I was like more of a less of a casual viewer and more of like an in-depth fan, and I really liked to be knowing what was going on and stuff. I mean, yeah, there's a whole world there that that wouldn't really be there if you didn't know well enough to know that there was stuff going on that you didn't know, and you just watch the show every week. But yeah, I see both sides of it for sure. Nice match, nice match. 70, yeah, I probably should have made that the main event. Let's see how uh, Brett and Randy pulled this off. Hopefully better. All right. Even with Brett off his game, we did pretty darn good. Brett and Randy Savage have great chemistry. I forgot about that. Yep. Beautiful. Good stuff. Randy even had an 82. Awesome. Damn, you had me so invested in talking, I booked 3 fucking tag matches back to back. Or no, I didn't. I put a 3-way in the middle. All right, we're okay. But yeah, I mean it's not the worst thing in the world, right? The steroid scandal and the Chris Benoit stuff is probably more of a negative impact on wrestling business overall than breaking kayfabe, like the end of kayfabe, the death of kayfabe. Got another 3.35. Damn, last thing typed in the chat was Santa's not real. I really shattered the illusion for you, didn't I? And you just went silent. I want to see that you like. I want to imagine that you're just like talking to your parents right now, freaking out. Oh damn, the power went out. Well, that was a powerful statement then. Holy crap! You missed the whole show. Savage and Brett had a 82, I think it was. It was a nice match. One of these busted all the way open. Flung a few M&Ms across the room. And there's my other D20. My Mount Rushmore. Got a 17. What, this one that's been on the ground? It's all messed up. I'm crazy like that. It is fun. It was a perfectly good M&M. I was going to eat it the whole time. I didn't want to eat in front of y'all because I'd be embarrassed, but then you told me to, so fuck it. Mount Rushmore for me. I don't know. It's tough. There's obviously like yeah, of all time, that's the problem. I want to put Austin and Brett both up there, right? But that seems like too narrow because they're so close together. Are you on you might be on ads. I don't know. Let me think about it for a sec. Yeah, you got hit by ads. Yep, figured. Okay. I'll think about it though. Ricky Morton's All Japan deal? Wait a second. Let me check that out. Keith Hart's leaving. Sweet Daddy Seeky's leaving? Oh man. Oh. Damn. Ruthless. Bruh. Son of a bitch. Alright. Man, I should have ran to the bathroom while you guys were on ads. Now I was saying damn dude, so many people are putting their notice in. Sweet Daddy Seeky, Ricky Morton's gonna be going to All Japan. It's a pain in the ass. Let me go to the bathroom, and I'm thinking Mount Rushmore still, and I'll be right back. So, because it's my Mount Rushmore, and it's my all-time, favorites, or the best in my eyes, I don't think I can leave off Brett and Austin. That's two spots right there that come in a relatively close proximity chronologically. I got him right there. So Brett and Austin are on my Mount Rushmore for sure. Now, even though it is my personal Mount Rushmore, I don't think I could put someone like Edge or Jeff Hardy up there. Like, it just wouldn't be right. Yours would be David Flair, Big Daddy V, the Great Khali, and the best heel, Michael Cole. Yeah, that's like a bizarro world Mount Rushmore. I respect that though. Um, so I'd have to say Brett, Austin, probably Flair, and I don't know, maybe like I also want to say Piper, but it's tough. Tough to say Piper. I want to say Andre in a way, but he wasn't the most mobile in the ring. Not that that's the criteria. Mess with the trash. Um, but yeah, maybe Andre. Maybe there's so many guys that could go in that slot. Like, I don't want to pick another attitude guy, but like Taker could be in that slot just for the all-time character actor of all time, you know? Um, I think my final answer is Brett, Austin, Flair, and Harley Race. Because it's tough to leave out somebody from that era. I like yours though. Yours is a fun time. David Flair. Yeah, when I said Flair, I definitely meant David Flair. So we have one in common at least. Actually, it would be Jushin Thunder Liger, Mankind, Rey Mysterio, and La Parka. Okay. Yeah, I respect that. Liger's awesome. Um obviously all my guys had big WWE runs, so that's probably a little bias. But I mean I like the older stuff too, but yeah, Liger never had that huge like uh US push, I should say. Um but yeah, I respect it for sure. Mankind is I think is awesome in my bin. Mankind's awesome. I think as far as like giving your body to the business, yeah, 100%. Yeah, he should be up there. Um, he was an amazing competitor for sure, and nobody could take that from him. His promo skills were incredible. I don't know, man, because now I'm thinking I almost want to put Macho Man on my top four. If there's a top five, Macho Man's in there for sure. I could get rid of Harley Race just because the game has evolved so much. Yo, yeah, mankind mankind definitely caused a lot of people to jump into backyard promotion. I think if I also had a backyard promotion with my friends and we did some crazy shit, but I would think that our biggest influences were more like Jeff Hardy, Edge, um, like the people that made us or that we worked like or that we really decided to go do backyard stuff cuz backyard wrestling like that was the Hardys. Like they started a trampoline wrestling company when they were in their teens. Like that was kind of what we didn't do trampolines or anything. But that was kind of the vibe. That was what we were going for. Was a similar come up to them. Obviously we didn't go through all the training and more of a Japanese inspired promotion. Yeah. Yeah, that's actually a similar trajectory. We actually started obviously there's HWA, the Heartland Wrestling Alliance or Association, and they were like a feeder league for the WWF, one of their developmentals. We were HWA Hybrid Wrestling Alliance, and that was like the hybrid is like the hybrid product is like a MMA based and more realistic kind of wrestling product. So that's what we were going for, was more like MMA based. And I know they do a lot of like Puerto I can't say the word Purerezo in Japan. But that's kind of what we were going for. We never went and took that step though. Getting an actual ring that's the big leagues for backyard. we built our own ring, but we didn't have like a actual wrestling ring. I feel like that would have been, if we would have had some money behind us, we would have definitely done that. We were looking at rings and stuff, and we were trying to raise the money, but we never pulled it off. So that's big ups. Congratulations on that. UWA Underground Wrestling Association. That's awesome, man. Yeah, that's dope. Do you guys have some stuff on YouTube? I feel like a lot of people just have some old wrestling stuff on YouTube. I mean, you're 22. It might not be that old. We were in a more well-off neighborhood, so we got it. Yeah, we were literally in a trailer park. So, a little bit of a different background, but no, yeah, that's respect either way. Like I'm sure there was effort made to make that happen. And even if there wasn't, there's like I just there's a level of respect for that shit, you know what I mean? You guys went all the way with it. If we would have known that some billionaire's kid was gonna get his inheritance early and put all of it into indie wrestlers and hire a bunch of dudes that were, 5'9" and shit, we would have went all the fucking way with it for sure. We didn't know that was gonna happen. We didn't know the industry was gonna change like that. Jim Neidhart and Rick Rude apparently butted heads backstage and are furious with each other. But if we would have had that, precursor information, we would have definitely taken it a lot further and gotten trained. And I talked to a few different schools. We had a school that was interested in training all of us at one point. They had seen some of our stuff, but it was just a matter of money. Thinking about moving to the UK and going back into wrestling. Hey man, now is the time. Like both with what I was just talking about and with if you're gonna go for it, if you got a dream, just go for it, man. Now is when you should. I still have like 20, 30 minutes in the morning where I need to stretch and like get my body going every morning and like get moving and stuff. And now you're redeeming the posture check. Oops, sorry, kitty. But like literally just I mean I probably added a good 5 years to my age just with the stuff we did, man. And I mean I'm talking about taking bumps on the ground, like outside. Uh which you know, I wouldn't take it back. It was a fucking great time. Uh like I said, I wish we would have went a little harder, if anything. So it's not about regrets, but um or like regretting the entire thing. But yeah, I mean we could have gotten hurt. Like we could have gotten really hurt. And having to stretch every morning is the least of my worries. Having a little bit of a stiffness, walking funny when I don't when I wake up late and don't have the time to stretch, that's the least of my worries. But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't take it back for the world. It was a great time. And if that's something you really have interest in pursuing, I would not hold back, you know? Dusty, we got Andre. Dusty's at a 68. If we can get Dusty to a major star as well, finally be able to fill out our franchise players. Broke both collarbones from wrestling. Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm sure, man. I mean, it can be pretty rough. I want Dusty to beat Andre though. Andre's defeated Dusty so many times, dude. Fuck it. We'll let Dusty get one on him. Especially because I think it'll put Dusty into the stratosphere. Okay, Andre can work a 15-minute regular. He can't work a 16-minute regular. That's actually progress. All right. Do I want to do Brett versus Rick again? And have Brett have 2 wins on Rick? But this time it's a TV title win? I feel like I kind of do. So otherwise, who? I guess we could do tag match. All right. 1 loss dropped into a 77. Make Oli lose this one. Maybe he wins this one. Cat's trying to get into the box back there. Oh, they're playing with the strings. Oh, I gave. Okay. Wait. So my gimmick was it was essentially like a gangsta gimmick, gangsta style. I was I was a heel. Um it was a little bit more like street oriented than like a John Cena kind of a gimmick. I was never a fan of John Cena. Um so it was more like a like doing it correctly. Obviously his gimmick was more like rapper than it was like gangsta. But that was my gimmick. So I would come out to Fight Music by D12. I gotta warn you if you look that up, because I've had many people ask me about that one, and there's a verse by this guy Bazaar in it that gets really crazy, really graphic. Um, so Fight Music D12, but when the fat guy starts rapping, maybe just skip it if you're not in. Yeah, yeah, you know that verse. Okay, so you know exactly what I'm talking about. That was not my entrance music. I didn't come out to Bazaar's verse. I came out to Proof's verse, and I came out. I actually made a cut so that I got yes, dude. That song's awesome. That's one of my favorite songs of all time. Um, but I came out to Proof's verse, and I made a cut so that it was like Proof to the Eminem verse, and then I put the chorus in the front. So it was a little bit of a like a mixed up bag of stuff. And there was a chorus in the middle of their verses. So the Eminem verse didn't really play often, but it was mostly the Proof verse. And then oh wow, thanks Khan. What's up, my man? Appreciate the raid. I didn't even know you were live, bro. Thank you. I've been live for 3 hours. This is longer than I usually go. But we're doing some. Thank you for the first time, chat. Rolly. We're doing some TEW, some wrestling. How was your stream, by the way, Con? Good one so far. Yes, I've been having a good one, man. How about you? We're playing some wrestling. We're playing as Roddy Piper, and we're finishing up a tournament right now that has Hulk Hogan going up against his tag team partner, and Bret Hart just beat Randy Savage. So the finals is going to be Bret Hart, Hulk Hogan. And I still haven't decided who's going to win that yet. So I don't know if you guys want to have any input on that. Bret Hart has been in the finals 3 years in a row. The semifinals in the first of those 3 years. But the very finals for the last 2 years. Finally launching satellites in Kerbal. Excited to check out some wrestling. Awesome, man. Yeah, dude. You got to the moon. You're out here fucking surveying my stream from a satellite that you just launched, and that's what we love about you. That among other things. You're in a different stratosphere of viewership right now. Jerry versus Arn, that could be a good match. He is feuding with the Horsemen. We just need about that long. Maybe even a couple minutes less, eh? But yeah, we are excited to have you guys in here. We met our 100 follower goal today. Just in time to miss the stream. Yeah, it happens, man. We met our 100 follower goal today, thanks to our new friend here, Harold. And yeah, we've got a pinata that we broke open. We broke open the Streamathon pinata. So candy flew everywhere, D20s flew everywhere. It was a good time. Yeah, thanks, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, we hit 100 followers. We've been teetering in that 90 zone for quite a while. So, yeah, big ups to Harold the Hyena helping us out, spreading that word of mouth, getting some wrestling fans in here to sub to us. Big day. Let's see, what do we got next? No, we need angles. That's what we need. We'll do that, and then we'll do a machismo promo. Got Randy Macho Man Savage and his brother. Going up against the Briscoe boys. Jack and Jerry. Went up a hill. Andre Dusty, Jerry Arn, the Poffos versus the Briscoes, Hulk Hogan versus his tag team partner, and the Hart Foundation versus the Horsemen. This is a pretty good fucking lineup here. Not tooting my own horn, not trying to toot it too hard, but it's a good one. 2 intro songs, 10,000 Fists by Disturbed, and my second was What's the Difference? Exhibit verse. Okay, I don't know about 10,000 Fists by Disturbed, but I know about that exhibit verse. That's a good one, man. That's some entrance music right there. I actually considered Don't Approach Me at one point for my entrance music. When I was doing the backyard thing, and Don't Approach Me would have been a good one, but the exhibit verse on What's the Difference is solid. That's a good fucking verse right there. Yeah, no, I had another wrestler, an independent wrestler, that was in here from Africa. His dad actually helped train Kofi Kingston, and he was, asking me questions about my backyard stuff, and I told him my entrance music, and he looked it up, and he was like, he got to that verse, the bizarre verse, and he was like, "What the fuck? Like, what in the actual fuck, man? What did I just listen to?" And I was like, "That's not what I came out to. That's not the part." My first intro music was for a tag team called the Caucasian Killers, spelt with a C. Oh man, that's white as fuck. I love that. Nice. All right, how do we wrap this into a storyline? Hulk Hogan versus Jeff Dan. Here we go. Switch alignment to nobody. Beautiful. Now it's a storyline. see, Hennig versus Piper. Is that too many times? Nope. I'll even leave it up to the guest booker, to the road agent. Yeah, Orndorff and Schultz. It was started as a joke to cause multiple people, because multiple people thought I was Hispanic for some reason. So I had the idea for my gimmick to be stereotypical Caucasian. Nice. That seems like a good wrestling gimmick. Not gonna lie. Were you a heel or a face though? Because that makes a difference. Schultz doesn't have enough. Dory and Billy Graham on the pre-show. Giving you guys a freaking show tonight. Dory. Michael Hayes is supposed to be one of my big breaks here. Next big things is Roddy Piper and Michael Hayes. And Roddy Piper just popped up there. I guess it's because I dropped down a little bit. Michael Hayes is my number one hot prospect, so I'm trying to give him a little bit of a push. Both at one point, but mostly face. We were only face when we invade a rival promotion. Okay. Oh, only heel when you invade a rival promotion. Okay, I see. I feel like it works better as a heel gimmick, but I guess I don't know the audience out there either, so I can't really say. All right, we're going for it. Whew, 68. Bruce and Ted. That could have been a main card match any day of the week. All right, I see you, Bruce and Ted. It was supposed to be a comedy heel, but the crowd had other plans. Okay. Interesting. Okay. Whew, 92. Finally, Randy's having a good time out there. He does better promos with his brother than he does alone, for sure. Arn seemed off his game, but they still pulled a 70. Arn doesn't have the ability to... Oh, shoot. Well, he's getting better. Damn. Okay. They didn't like that. Yeah, maybe we should have had Dusty get cheated. Dusty's popularity goes up when he loses, like half the time, so it wouldn't have even mattered probably. But hopefully he's a main eventer now, or a major star, I should say. 67. That's kind of what I expected out of this. Ooh, that's not what I expected out of that. Oh no. This was a safe bet, wasn't it? Am I tripping? Brett had a 93. Flair had an 89. And then we split up and became a group of I became a leader. You became the leader of a revolutionary wrestling group. Nice. That's big storyline stuff right there. Damn, dude, a 66 overall. Oh, man. Sorry, y'all. Sorry about that stinker of a show we put on. Damn. It was a fun time overall. Well, that's awesome. Yeah, I'm glad it was a fun time. If you weren't having fun, then what's the point? Um, but no, that sounds awesome. Like I said, I wish we would have gone farther with it. Yeah, man, that finish really backfired. All right, so Keith Hart and Siki are both leaving. I'm unfortunately losing Ricky Morton. I should have brought those boys up a while ago. It's only for a tour of Japan, then he'll be back. We're ranked as first in the world now. We were second in the world when we started. We are number 1 in the world now. Even after that stinker of a main event. We're outdoing Hollywood wrestling. We're outdoing Georgia. Gulf. American. In your opinion, what is the most overrated wrestler? Um, I haven't put a whole lot of time into considering it. I know. I don't know. There's a lot of guys overrated. At this point, maybe like Moxley. Uh, I don't really dig his stuff. And I do like hardcore, but yeah, I don't know, man. I I uh I don't really fuck with it. I feel like he gets too much like he out of all the guys in the Shield, actually, I don't know. Maybe Seth. Maybe Seth is the most overrated because I don't really fuck with his shit either. I did just say that. I did say that. I mean, I'm just spitballing here. It's one of those two guys, Seth or Moxley. I was a big Roman Reigns fan when he was in the Shield from the beginning, which nobody was. So, I mean, you could even say Roman Reigns, any one of those three guys. But in my opinion, I I haven't really liked anything Moxley's been doing lately. Um, yeah, MJF is definitely like the top heel for me in that company. Not a big Roman fan. Didn't like him. He was just a big muscle superhero. Was and is. Yeah. No, that's fair. I guess like again, like it was one of those things where ooh, Stan Lane. All right. Well, during a house show match? Fuck. Okay. It happens, I guess. It was one of those things where I knew he was going to be the next big thing. And kind of to circle it back, I knew that because kayfabe's dead, and I knew who ran that company, and I knew what they were going to do with him. And at the same time, I liked the look. I liked the aesthetic of Roman Reigns. I liked his moveset. And I liked the idea of Roman Reigns. Now, was it executed perfectly? No. Could it have been done better? Yeah. When he joined up with, oh, okay, so I can still sign him. It's not exclusive or anything. He's it's a handshake, so he's not even leaving. Never mind. When he teamed up with Heyman is when, it really took off, obviously. But he was always my favorite guy in the Shield. Yeah. I don't know though, man. Like they gave MVP a lot. They gave MVP a lot. Like Dusty had him coming out like, like no one had ever come out before. I believe so too. No, I agree with that. And I think it was probably just racism that he didn't. Yeah, I mean, they certainly could have got behind him a little better. But at the same time, he was a little bit underwhelming. Oh yeah, it definitely was racism. I mean, it's not gonna be a surprise to me that there's fucking Vince McMahon is racist. Like he definitely is, and that was certainly. I mean, and a lot of people in the office were as well. It's not about just one guy, even though that's all it took was just one guy hating you, and it would have been plenty. But yeah, I mean, 1,000%. He deserved to have that, probably the world heavyweight title belt, if not the WWE title belt. But at the same time, like with the stuff they did give him, it wasn't the most captivating. All right, y'all. We want Brett or Hulk. I feel like Brett's going to put on the better match for sure. Brett's main event now. Let's see. Could I even let him lose and keep him? Probably not. 69. Dusty stayed at 68. Oh man. All right, so Hogan's arc. Vince being racist. What next? Shawn using backstage politics to mess with people's jobs? Whoa, man. That's too far. That would never happen. Shawn would never do something like that. now that he's a good Christian boy. That was out of line. That was out of line. No, yeah, he would do that. But so Hogan made it through this tournament. He's faced off against his own tag team champion tag partner. He beat Ted DiBiase and Roddy Piper to get here. Bret beat Andre the Giant, Ric Flair, and Randy Savage to get here. He said so. He would never lie, right? Man, that when you put it in perspective like this, though, Bret beat Andre, Flair, and Savage in this tournament. Hogan beat Piper, Ted DiBiase, and his own tag team partner. Yeah, I don't know, man. This is a tough call. What do you think? I'm not binding myself to your answer, but I have to I'm really having to think about this one. They've never faced off one-on-one. They've only ever met in tag matches, of which Bret has won on almost every occasion except for one tag team title defense. He is younger, but that's what I'm saying though. He's younger and I have more time to build him. If I don't make Hulk Hogan into champ like in the next couple of years, then it'll never happen. And Hogan, because you turned in a little bit after I discussed this. Hogan is the only one. Andre's lacking star quality. Bret's nowhere near enough, not charismatic, and not over enough. Dusty's slightly lacking charisma and star quality. Hogan's the only one that if he was over enough, he could be a figurehead. Everyone else is lacking in star quality in comparison to Hogan, or charisma in comparison. Even Ric Flair couldn't be my. So I don't know. Yeah, I agree. Dusty should have at least not even if not star quality because of his weight, he should definitely have charisma. He should definitely not be lacking in charisma. That's crazy. So is Macho Man. The fact that Randy Savage is lacking charisma, according to this game, that's just preposterous. That's literally preposterous. There's no fucking way. But it is what it is. I'm looking at what I'm looking at, and that's so. This is the only way I get a figurehead is if it's Hulk Hogan. Now I'm fine with not having a figurehead, but that means Hulk Hogan doesn't go anywhere. He becomes a tag team upper mid card guy, and that's all he'll ever be. That's what I'm fucking saying. You met him though? You met him? That's fucking awesome, dude. What was the circumstances of that meeting? All right, I don't know. I'm going to leave it at this for right now. Hulk Hogan is unhappy. What do we do if Hulk Hogan wins? Oh, he can't go 16 minutes solo? Maybe that's better for the future of wrestling. Just saying. I think maybe you're right. Do I keep him strong, or do we just let him lose? What do you think? Oh, you're talking about Dusty. You're talking about Dusty. I thought you were talking about Randy Savage for a second, but that's cool too. I mean, that's also awesome. That's probably just the delay, honestly. Was the miscommunication there, but yeah. Yeah, that would have been awesome, dude. I would have loved to have met Dusty as well. Yeah, that's why I was kind of like, "Oh man, you must have," like in my head I didn't say it, but I was thinking like, "Man, you must have been a kid or something." Like they must have had a tour out there. But yeah, that's cool though. That's really dope. Look at fucking Hogan over here. All right, yeah, fuck Hogan, dude. I don't even fucking like Hulk Hogan. The reason why he hasn't been anything but a mid Carter. I originally was like that was the plan. Like I was gonna lock him into being a mid Carter. But then with this tag title run, I've seen them do pretty good. And he was starting to win me over, but you reminded me that maybe that's better for the future of wrestling, and I think you're right. If he just doesn't make it out. Andre, Ted, and Kurt. Kurt is in the no, he's not. Hmm. Maybe we do Ted. Ooh. All heels though, hey. Hmm. You were 7 when he died. Okay, yeah, that yeah, and he probably wouldn't have been actively touring for several years before. So that makes sense. That makes sense. That's why I was a little bit more shocked. I was like, "Damn, you met him. That's kind of nuts." Um, yeah. Let's see. Is this still too much for Angelo? No, he could work a 10-minute match. Okay, you can get Dean in there and just fucking work him over. Lawler, Flair. Pretty girls. My beard. Shoot, man. Probably since like 2019. Been a while. I'll trim it up once in a bit, but for the most part, I just let it grow. Want to have like a nice like wizard beard at some point. It'd work for my dungeon mastering. Player Dusty. I don't know how I feel about that though. He lost the still had Peach Fuzz back in 2019. Yeah. That'll happen though. Think about it like that. I mean, I was uh 20, what is that, 6 years? I was 22. So that's the age you are now, you know what I mean? So if you think about it, like, I've been growing it since I was or stopped shaving and just growing it out since I was 22. That's where you're at now. Lawler versus Jeff Dan. I don't see why not. Or well, no, I should do Jeff Dan versus Robin Rowe. Or these guys have chemistry. No, I think it's Brandon Bender that has chemistry. Hmm. Yeah, we'll leave it. Lawler and uh, Jerry versus Tully. He's taken out all the horsemen, getting them back, evening it out. Dusty v Jake. Get that going. Maybe 30 more minutes. Andre and Piper is a classic. Talk about history, man. All the way back. Andre's been winning a lot lately. Another tag match in here. The Funks versus the Hostility, I should say. Mm. Actually, this Robin Rhodes, F. Dan. Okay. All right, just the mid card to book, or the you know what I mean? The opening and the post show. Do a crazy 3v3 here. 3v3v3. Freebirds versus Strike Force versus the Von Erichs. And that'll be my post show. I think he's got to do some jobs now. Not that he wasn't before, but he's definitely got to do some now that he's leaving. Phone died. Oh man, welcome back. Didn't miss anything. We're still booking the show. We're almost done though. I just have my pre-show left. And then we will get to see the final results of the event here. I actually should put this creative finish on right quick before I forget. A near certainty. If that one doesn't work out, I will kind of be pissed. I mean, even if it succeeds and the match doesn't gain me popularity, that's fine. But if that finish fails, I'm just going to be pissed about the finish. Swayze can't even go fucking 12 minutes in a tag match. Lazy. Sheep Herders versus the Midnight. We got 19 minutes left. Okay. Let's do Arn. And David Schultz can't go 10 minutes. Do Arn and Al Snow. Give Al Snow a chance to learn some stuff. We'll even make it, well, no, we don't even need storytelling. It'll be fine. All right. This final conclusion. Thank you for joining me on this monumental stream, made even more monumental by yourself and your friends, making it our 100th. He doesn't know how to call, whatever. Our celebration for our 100th follower. Sheep Herders versus Midnights. Condry had a good match. Randy Rose put a 54 in. Pretty solid. Thank you. Appreciate the redemptions. We got lots of fun stuff in there too. With the videos and such. Musical artist or band? Yeah, I mean, I'm a big hip hop guy. If I had to say like a band, like the traditional definition of a band, I'd say like System of a Down would be my favorite. But like a musical artist or like solos, there's so many hip hop artists that I could do like a whole pile of Mount Rushmores of just hip hop artists, but I would say either KRS-One or Eminem. Hollywood Undead. I used to listen to some Hollywood Undead back in the day. They were all right. I don't know how much the stuff holds up. I had Swan Songs, the CD. I would listen to that a lot. But I haven't really like went back to give it much of a second, or I mean I definitely listened to it more than once, but uh it wasn't something I like ever went back to really. That was like a middle school band, not to like insult them at all. because they were good at what they were doing. But I don't know. It's just not anything that stayed in my zeitgeist. Yeah, Public Enemy's dope. If you like Public Enemy, you'll probably like KRS-One. KRS-One is another like conscious rap guy. Public Enemy's cool because you got the balance. Um, with like the hype man with Flava Flav. But yeah, KRS-One has been doing it since like the start, man. He's old school as hell. Um, yeah, him and Scott LaRock were the band Boogie Down Productions. So you say you've never heard of him, right? But if I gave you some of he's the most sampled artist in the history of hip hop. So if I gave you some of the samples and like told you about some of the lines, you've heard him. You've heard him, but you just haven't heard of him. Um, but I digress. Oh, okay, yeah, you've heard some of them. Yep, yeah, yeah, he's awesome. KRS-One is dope, and so positive, and so like just like I'm like really big into like political messages in hip hop and like conscious hip hop. Um like how Ice Cube used to make and stuff like that. The sound of the police, exactly. Yeah, you know that. You just don't know that it's him. Um he has a song where he starts it off. If you don't know me by now, I doubt you'll ever know me. I never won a Grammy. I won't win a Tony. And I'm not the only MC keeping it real. So he knows what the machine wants and how they don't want to promote his 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 positivity and like all that kind of shit. But yeah. Yeah, exactly. So he's prolific. Like you can't avoid it. A lot of people will say like, "Oh, I've never heard of that. I don't know who that is." But you do know, but you just don't know. And KRS-One stands for knowledge reigns supreme over nearly everyone. So ignorance reigns supreme for some, but nearly everyone. But yeah, it's a design of the rap industry that you don't know who he is. But the hip hop community is thoroughly invested. Jeff Dan and Robin Rhodes, man, that's 89 on that. He also, now looking at it, I think my friend have a record of his albums. Yeah. Um he's got some really good shit. Like 9 millimeter go bang. Like that's really prolific as well. Which I'm sure has, permeated the culture out there as well. Um Tons of stuff, man. He has a catalog. Like I said, he's been doing it since nearly the beginning of hip hop. He grew up in the Bronx when that shit was starting. So, um, and his first joint with like Scott LaRock coming out was a battle rap, and it was the South Bronx, the South Bronx. So he is hip hop, like at his core being, like he lives that shit. I was so happy that I got to see him in concert. That shit was amazing, bro. He had an awesome show and tore the house down. Um, so yeah, he's an OG, man. He's still keeping it real all these years later. Um, from the original class. So I gotta give it to him as my favorite artist. I love a lot of artists, but KRS-One is probably my favorite. My top three is KRS-One, Eminem, and then that third one is it moves around a little bit, but right now Kendrick. It's Kendrick, yeah. He good from what I'm listening to. Oh yeah, man. He's fire. He's fire. Kendrick's up there now though. For sure. Like top top MC of this era for sure. 72? All right, man. I did an inspirational speech, so this shit might pay off. It's looking like it might. Lanny, Randy, they had good they pulled good numbers at least. The Horsemen versus the Briscoes is only a 74. That's my storytelling match. So that might be why, with them holding back a little bit. Ole's physical condition, Jack's physical condition. All right, well, and lack of associated storyline. Yeah, that's the other thing. Brett's not in a storyline with Hogan, but we'll see how this goes. 77. Brett had an 87. Hogan had a 65. I think it's fair to say we made the right choice. And Hogan will probably never hold a world title in my company. So, thank you for joining me today, making history, both with the 100 followers and in cementing that Hulk Hogan legacy to be probably more where it should have been. Exhibit, Public Enemy, Mob Deep, yes, I love all those. Yeah, Exhibit. If you haven't heard Exhibit and Eminem's Don't Approach Me, check that shit out. That shit's dope. Although, I mean, you seem to have D12 fight music down, so I feel like you would have heard that one too. Yeah, man, that shit's dope. Shit is good. Yeah. Public Enemy's dope. I mean, it sucks where it went and like where we're at now with it, but it is what it is. Yeah, Mob Deep has some of the classics too. So, this is like years ago now, but Chuck D kicked Flava Flav out of of Mob Deep, of Public Enemy, due to like Public Enemy's literally like they're political, like very political and very like conscious in a way, like conscious rap, but with a political message, So, basically for his Trump support and for his generally his not being someone who like the community could get behind anymore. Flav got kicked out. Yeah, I mean it does make sense for sure. And even then, like, and those guys were really close. You know what I mean? So it sucks to see, because even through like the Flavor of Love era and like all the other stuff that Flav did, like he stood by his homie. But yeah, like I don't blame Chuck D at all. Like that's what I would have done myself. So you can't really just sit there and like be cool with that. Yeah. But, it is what it is. 3.76, baby. That's one of our best ratings of all time. 715,000 viewers. Terry Gordy seems to be manipulating the locker room against sensational Sherry. Tully Blanchard and Sherry were seen arguing. Jeez, okay. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I get that. I don't think you have to be American to see that somebody's up to some fucked shit, right? But yeah, it is what it is. It's just kind of, if it was a regular group and it wasn't like going against everything they ever stood for, I, you know, I could see them being like, okay, we can just agree to disagree on this. But yeah, it is what it is. But again, uh thank you so much. Getting the word out there. Sounds like we are definitely, we have a lot of similar interests and stuff like that. I didn't even ask you cuz you noticed the D20 and you said, "Oh, do you play D&D?" I didn't even get to ask you much about any D&D stuff, but definitely pop in the chat, man. Keep around and we can keep chatting. But yeah, dude, night, peace out. Thanks for the love. Do you stream yourself, my friend? I'll probably give you a follow if you do. I'll check your stuff out. Check your page out, see if you stream it all. If you don't get time to type it in chat. But yeah, appreciate checking me out and all that good stuff. And I will see you in the future. Peace. Oh, you're gonna start streaming soon? Actually, I should well, I can't rate. If I rate out, it's just you watching you, man. It looks like we lost some folks, but but yeah, thank you for everything, and I appreciate you sticking through this with me. 4-hour marathon stream. I don't usually go this long, but I'll probably jump in your chat, man. I'll be there. So yeah, peace out.